Manchester United have been notoriously bad sellers in summer transfer windows for a long time now, but something has changed this summer. INEOS have finally started a real, genuine clear-out in the squad. We're far from finished. More is needed, but after years of wanting one, I think we're now seeing the true beginning of an actual clear-out at Manchester United. When it comes to the rebuild of Manchester United, one thing that we have just never got right is selling. And this summer, I think there's been a dramatic change. And I want to run through all of it. Speak about the players that have left. Speak about the players that still have to leave. And the players I think will leave next summer. Because I'm not suggesting that the clear-out's been finished. But for the first time, I think we can say it's actually started. You let me know what you think in the comments below. And as always, please do drop a like on the video. But let's rewind to the start of the summer. Because there were two big exits that happened straight away. A bit like last summer. Who was it? Was it Juan Mata left last summer? Maybe it wasn't last summer, summer before. But anyway, Varane and Martial leaving. It's over £500,000 a week in wages that left the club straight away. And we can run through some of the deals that happened. Now, Van der Beek, I'm not going to applaud the price that we got for him. We sold him off for cheap. But I think there was a sell-on percentage that was involved in that. And it's a tactic that Manchester United have employed under INEOS. Over the last two windows, players that we otherwise would just hoard because nobody wants them, we're accepting lower upfront fees and higher sell-on percentages to try and move them on. Mason Greenwood, I believe we make 50% of any future profits if he leaves Marseille, and we got, what, 20, 25 million up front? I think we wanted more, but we couldn't get more, so we accepted that sell-on. Cambuala, he left, I believe, for in the region of, what was it, £5 million, I think, up front, but a big sell-on clause, around about the 30 to 40% mark. Wan-Bissaka, that was just a smart deal, in my opinion. And that the Wan-Bissaka one, quite like McTominay, are two transfers, and I've mentioned this in the live shows, but players who could conceivably stay in the squad, but if you keep them for any longer, they're not going to have any resale value down the line. And that's something that we've changed again this summer with Wan-Bissaka and McTominay. Same thing applies there. McTominay, I would have rather sold Casemiro, Eriksen, and loads of other people ahead of McTominay, but he had value. And that's just something that United haven't done. Normally, we hold on to players until the point where no one wants them, and we just lose them for free. That switched this summer with Wan-Bissaka and McTominay, and with the likes of Van der Beek, with Cambuala, with Pellistri. Fernandes going to Benfica. Players that we probably should have really conceivably got a bit more for, but we were willing to let them go in order for us to move them on. Now, Hannibal, I actually think, probably represents the best deal that we've got. 5.4 mil up front, rising to 9.4, which covers how much we pay for him. A 50% sell-on clause and a buyback if he goes and nails it at Burnley. I think the structure of that deal was probably the most surprising in a good way. I didn't expect United to get as good a deal for Hannibal. But that's so many players. And there are more to add on top of it. Juve are expected to put a bid in for Sancho, and I just hope he goes there and we don't have to have a conversation around Sancho and Sterling. But Sancho leaving, Victor Lindelof leaving, would be another two that I would like to see leave. And of course, there will be other loan moves as well. Reece Bennett, Sonny Aldrifree, Eli Harrison. But all in all, all right, we go to this. Manchester United this summer, that's 16 names over there. Martial, Varane, McNeil, Forson, Williams and Shoretire all leaving as free transfers. And the sales, Fernandes going to Benfica, Van der Beek, Cambuala, Greenwood, Wan-Bissaka, Pellistri, Will Fish, Oyedele, McTominay, Hannibal. Players, lots of them that you could have conceivably maybe kept in the academy. But instead, United have shifted them on. And we've made, in total, around about £86 million. Now, that doesn't include any sort of add-ons, all right? And the McTominay one, maybe that's going to be slightly less upfront, but the deal was worth around €30 million. We haven't been told whether that's going to be split down into upfront and for add-ons. But going into the summer, this was my dream summer window as far as sales go. Lindelof, that's not happened. If it does, it's not going to be 7.5. Maguire, never happened. Casemiro, nobody ever wanted to pay for him. Sancho, no one's ever wanted to pay for him. Greenwood, I was optimistic of 40 million, but you can see Hannibal, I was optimistic over all of the prices. But Man United have delivered on the exits. 16 players have left. And all in total, right, that total there is actually wrong. I just ran through what it roughly the total is. Let me go back to this. It's about £86 million that Manchester United have made so far this summer. And that there, the only summer in the last 5 years that's got close to that was back in 2019 when we sold Lukaku. But we've made more money than that. And you have to go the whole way back, ladies and gents, to 2015 for the last time that Manchester United made more than 100 million in sales in one summer. And that's because we sold Di Maria a year after signing him from Real Madrid for big money to PSG. And if you want to go a little step further back than that, the last big summer before that was Cristiano Ronaldo joining Real Madrid in a world record deal. They're the only two times where Manchester United in the last 15 years have made more money in sales in a summer than Man United have made this summer. And on top of that, we have saved well over, I don't know exactly what the numbers are on this because you can only sort of guess, but well over £1 million a week in wages. And on top of all of this, the Clearout is still not finished. And it won't be finished in one summer. It was never going to be finished in one summer. But I was taking a look at this list, right? I'm not going to look too much at the actual numbers, but in terms of roughly who the top earners are at our club. And if I looked at that top six there, Casemiro, Bruno, Rashford, Sancho, Mount, and Anthony. Honestly, there's only one player I'd put my own money on being here in 2 years, and that's Bruno. Casemiro won't be. Marcus Rashford is going to have a very strong season this season for INEOS to consider keeping him. Otherwise, I think INEOS will sell him next summer. Jadon Sancho, no future. Mason Mount, I wouldn't put money on him being in here in 2 years, but he might be. And Anthony definitely won't be. So that's 5, according to Capology, 5 out of our top 6 earners who I don't really have belief that are going to be in here in a couple of years' time. So it goes to show you that the Clearout's not finished yet. But my word is it started. And it's such an important aspect of the genuine rebuild of this club is making money from sales just as much as making the right signings. Because our cash flow has been atrocious. And people wanted to go into this summer window thinking, oh, United can spend 300-400 million. And it was just wrong. It was just completely wrong. And it wasn't optimistic. It was just, you're living in cuckoo land. Jim Ratcliffe has had to put in 200-ish million, thereabouts, of his own money, cash, into the bank accounts of United to help float our football club. Cuts all over the business. Cuts 20% of the workforce. Over £1 million saved in wages per week. And on top of all of that, 16 players leaving either as free transfers there or players that we've sold. And the prices might not be enough. And that's for next summer to make sure that we can get more for our players. But instead of hoarding, which is what we've done before, and instead of keeping players like McTominay or Wan-Bissaka who could do something in the squad as a job, that's where United have been a little bit more ruthless this summer. Made a decision and moved those players on. Wish them the best of luck elsewhere. But we're building something here. And we need to bring cash in. It's been a big issue for years at this club. And I think this summer, finally, I think we've started to see a genuine clear out. But more is coming.